Welcome to the wrong side of the TCM tracks. I'm Eddie Muller, your guide through this dark city. Today, Noir Alley intersects with Side Street, a relatively big-budget noir from MGM, released in April 1950. It features the second pairing of stars Farley Granger and Kathy O'Donnell, who first appeared together in They Live by Night, which was shot at RKO in 1947, but put on the shelf by new studio boss Howard Hughes. After RKO production chief Dory Sherry moved to MGM, he feared that Nick Ray's debut picture might never be released. So he decided to put Granger and O'Donnell together again at his new studio. When Hughes learned of this, he decided to beat Sherry to the punch, finally releasing They Live by Night in November 1949, 5 months before Side Street opened nationwide. So in early 1950, the public got a double dose of Farley Granger and Kathy O'Donnell, two innocent kids caught in a vortex of crime and tortured by cruel fate. This was the height of the noir era. These two charismatic actors weren't the only things Sherry reclaimed from his days at RKO. He also had worked with an up-and-coming director, Anthony Mann, who'd done impressive work with a low-budget RKO-B titled Desperate, made in 1947. After that, Mann made two dynamite pictures released by Eagle Lion, T-Men and Raw Deal. These pictures impressed Sherry so much, he enticed Mann and his creative partners, writer John C. Higgins and cinematographer John Alton, into the rarefied air of MGM, where cash flowed more freely. This creative quartet immediately produced a hard-hitting, socially conscious crime film in the style of T-Men. It was called Border Incident, precisely the kind of picture studio boss L.B. Mayer hated. So began the battle between Sherry and Mayer for creative control of MGM. Sherry's next project, tailored especially for Anthony Mann, was an original story and screenplay by former newspaperman Sidney Bowen, one clearly inspired by Universal's big 1948 hit, The Naked City. But where Jules Dassin's film was notable for being one of the first authentic police procedurals, Bowen made his New York story something much more noir. The protagonist is a young newlywed struggling to get a foothold in the urban jungle, a naive kid who is completely innocent, until the moment he's not, when a rash decision puts him in the crossfire of cops and crooks. Nobody was better at playing this kind of vulnerable character than Farley Granger, and Anthony Mann seems to delight in putting the actor through his rough-and-tumble brand of hell, relentlessly bruising and battering Granger's handsome face, something that would become, during the 1950s, one of the director's trademarks. For this film, Mann didn't have his genius sidekick, John Alton, but Sherry gave him MGM's best, Joe Rutenberg, who showed his mettle straight away, operating the camera himself while sitting on the open hatch of a blimp circling high above Manhattan. This footage provides the stunning opening of Side Street, and Rutenberg's work is wonderfully evocative throughout, as he changes the lighting scheme to reflect the protagonist's spiral from sunny optimism to dismal despair. The supporting cast is chock full of noir stalwarts like Adele Jurgens, Charles McGraw, and Paul Kelly, who provides the voiceover narration. Besides Granger and O'Donnell, the two standouts are James Craig as murderous Georgie Garcelle and Jean Hagen in the first film she made as tipsy torch singer Harriet Sinton, a performance that inspired John Huston to cast her as the female lead in The Asphalt Jungle, made later that year at MGM. This was the final noir in Anthony Mann's filmography. After this, The Frontier was his métier, and he made some of the best westerns ever. As a swan song, Mann left Dark City in high style. Here is Side Street.